The Skeleton King was but he lost both of his sons and his very soul.
Oh, hey folks, this is Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and you're watching WGS TV. Tough guy.
Hello everyone, welcome to another installment of WGS TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer and ZFX TV. I'm the WrestleGamer. Don't be Millie Butcher. I've got a couple of guys to introduce you to. First off, he is the studly man, Ashley. Ashley, how you doing?
I am feeling rather dejected and elated at the same time. Don't I sound happy?
As Ashley has gone into emo mode, he's our resident music mogul over on YouTube.com/Lance Moss TV. He is the incomparable Lance Moss. Lance, how you doing?
Pretty good. Thanks for having me.
Well, we'll be talking about Monday Night RAW for the week of September 16th, 2013, the Fallout show to Night of Champions. One thing I want to say right off the bat, you guys are going to be noticing a series of videos that will be coming up on here very, very soon concerning the polls that took place at Night of Champions for the supposed greatest champions of all time. Just wanted to give you guys a quick heads up on that before we get to the Raw review. But now it's the fallout from Night of Champions with Daniel Bryan becoming the WWE champion. You got the new nameplates on there, and I gotta say, it actually looked good. And the fact that, one of the things that was heavily talked about was the fact of Scott Armstrong's fast count on Daniel Bryan. Now, Daniel Bryan's out there to celebrate. I mean, we know just as quickly as he could, they had Triple H come out there to kind of start the investigation, and they kind of brought Scott Armstrong out, the referee, and what a referee's count is called a cadence. And when they showed his normal cadence of a normal count, and then they showed the finish of the match where Scott Armstrong did a 3 count in 2 seconds. Now, immediately right off the bat, I gotta say, even though I did not watch Night of Champions, what I thought was going to happen happened. They were going to take the title off of Daniel Bryan, and they were going to hold it up. And it was just so... The elements were there of the infamous Chris Jericho, Triple H, Earl Hebner incident from Raw so many years ago, but they just put their own little twist to it. Instead of putting the title back on Randy Orton, Triple H did what he said was held the title in abeyance pending the investigation. And they tried to set Daniel Bryan to make it look like he was the one who did it. And I gotta say, it was a little bit predictable. But they still pulled it off good. I kind of figured that, they were setting Daniel Bryan up. They were using Scott Armstrong to kind of set him up. And so that's really all I can say about it. 3.75 out of 5. I would have given it a perfect 4 out of 5. But the fact of the matter is, like I said on the onset, when I heard what happened at Night of Champions, it was almost blatantly obvious what WWE was going to do to push this whole feud with Orton and Daniel Bryan. But however, they might have an interesting change happening to that, and we'll talk about that when we get later into the review. Opening match on Monday Night Raw this week featured Dolph Ziggler and Dean Ambrose, a rematch from Night of Champions with a different outcome. Now, I will say this, Dolph Ziggler, how the hell did you not break... Ashley, how did Dolph Ziggler not break his back on that spot on the outside when he did his version of the cactus clothesline, where he clotheslines him over the top and goes with him? I could have sworn I saw the lower part of his back just kind of crack the ring apron.
I thought you were going to talk about the Power Slam, the big move as well, that spot as well.
Oh, yeah.
It was a good showcase from two guys that clearly are major title contenders a few years down the line, but as it currently stands, one's allegedly in the doghouse and the other's embroiled in the corporate office featuring David Brent or whatever you want to call. But yeah, Ziggler getting the win was zigzag. I kind of saw coming considering how it's non-title, because then if you did want to do it, you could have a title rematch for it at Battleground. And then perhaps at Battleground, we'll have every title change apart from the WWE title, and it will still be vacated. Apparently, somebody's gone on Twitter and actually done an account for vacated, saying that he proudly won the belt from Andre the Giant, the Undertaker, Hulk Hogan, Triple H. Basically, anytime the belt has been stripped off a wrestler, this vacated guy has won it. So he apparently sent a tweet to Ric Flair saying, "You're 16-time champions? Huh, I'm a 17-time world champion."
Oh, God almighty. Your score for the match, Ashley?
3.5.
Up next, we had Fandango and R-Truth. Now, I've said it before on the WGS-TV Facebook, and I'm going to reiterate it here on the review, Lance. The only reason I tolerate the Fandango gimmick is because of Summer Rae. If you didn't have Summer Rae, I would not give a crap about Fandango at all, period.
Same here.
What?
I mean, Pretty Girl, a bad Disco Inferno, Val Venus mashup type of deal. I could really give a rat's ass.
He's so bad. He's so bad. He's good. Come on. It's one of these
So-
guilty pleasure things.
Fandango finishes off R-Truth with about one of the worst guillotine leg drops I have ever seen that would make beautiful Bobby Eaton get up and say, "You know what? Fuck you." Beautiful Bobby Eaton, the purveyor of the Alabama Jam, the top rope guillotine leg drop finisher. Throughout the majority of his career, that was his primary finisher. And I gotta say, Johnny Curtis Fandango, if you want to use that as your finisher, you need to really learn how to perfect that just a little bit better, because what he did on R-Truth, Lance, was complete crap.
Yeah. I even put in my notes I got here, Fandango with a lame leg drop.
Wasn't he supposed to be making out, though, that he did have a hurt leg or something in that match?
Well,
Yeah, use the other leg.
yeah, he used the other leg.
He has 3 legs? Oh, dear.
Score for the match, Lance.
2.5, and I'm being generous.
Now, it was made known on WWE's Twitter that Dusty Rhodes was going to be in attendance to accept some sort of an offer from Stephanie McMahon. Now, when Dusty Rhodes got out there, and thank God Andy isn't here right now, because I know how much
Dusty.
I know how much.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, if Dusty Rhodes is the American dream, who's the British dream? While Ashley's thinking about that, Dusty Rhodes comes out and he says, "You know what? From the start, I'm not here as the American dream. I'm here as Virgin Runnels. I'm here as a father. What happened to my son Cody wasn't right." And apparently, he started what I got to say, one of the best segments, hands down. Right, I'm letting you guys know right now, hands down for me, this is best segment of the night. The way this panned out, Stephanie McMahon came out, and again, they're really, really pushing this McMahon Rhodes feud. You know, Stephanie McMahon gives him the offer of, you know, you can either choose one of your sons. You can either be Goldust or Cody, but you have to make the decision on who gets their job back in WWE. And Dusty Rhodes says, "You know what? I'm not making this decision." And told Stephanie McMahon to go to hell, and which prompts the Shield to come out. And then Stephanie McMahon said, "Hold on, I have someone who's going to give you another
That's
option."
not fair.
Yeah. She said it wasn't fair, so she brought out the Big Show, and then gave Dusty Rhodes the option of either being dismantled by the Shield or to be knocked out by the Big Show. And Big Show did not want to do it, but Stephanie McMahon said he had to, or he was going to be suspended for a day like he did on Friday Night SmackDown for his behavior. And Dusty Rhodes kind of said back. He said, looked like he was going to take on the Shield. The Shield was going to come in with steel chairs, and Big Show backed them all off. And first embraced Dusty Rhodes, said, I'm sorry, I don't want to do this. I'm sorry. Then hits the knockout punch, and then catches Dusty Rhodes, which kind of lead me to believe actually that Dusty Rhodes probably, at his age, probably can't take a bump like he used to.
Yeah, but it was also kind of, him showing the
Remorse.
The remorse of having to do it. But basically, he realized, I can either knock this guy out in one punch and have him, taken to the medics, or I can have the Shield hit him with chairs over and over and over again multiple times.
Yeah, the lesser of two evils, I think people do say about that. But
the fact that he went in the ambulance with him really shows you how he was really stuck between a rock and a hard place in that situation. And of course, Stephanie was smiling like the conniving woman that she is, which is absolutely genius.
I would have called her a Cheshire Cat. I don't know, but
well, considering she's from Connecticut, it wouldn't count. But anyway, the British dream, I guess, would be anybody that wins Britain's Got Talent. That's the closest equivalent I can think of.
And poor Zack Ryder, the first time he gets TV time in months and months on Monday Night Raw, and it features him standing behind Booker T outside the ambulance.
Oh, hey! Give him credit. You'll see him later on in Raw.
Yep.
Now, Billy, you're talking about according to the WWE, the greatest World Heavyweight Champion of all time now in Booker T.
Okay, 5 out of 5 on the segment right there. And next up, we followed up with a 6-diva tag match featuring Brie Bella and the Funkadactyls taking on Layla, Aksana, and Alicia Fox, with Natalya and AJ Lee on commentary. Hello, WWE. I think you should do equipment checks on all your equipment. Make sure that you don't give Natalya a fucked up headset. Because to me, Ashley, that looked just as hot as Natalya is. The fact that WWE was just like almost like a Botchamania episode, as good as it was just fucking up left and right, and they fucked up with Natalya's headset.
Yeah, but it gets better later on with the botches. But yeah, I mean, you've got Brie Bella, who clearly at the minute thinks she's dressing up like a Rainbow Warrior.
Lady Skittles.
The Funkadactyls, who are clearly getting their wardrobe from like Martian movies from the 1950s where they just wore silver. Aksana with a wig that even like a monk in the 1300s wouldn't even be interested in. Layla, who's hot because she's British. And Alicia Fox, who I still don't know why she's there.
She's sexy chocolate.
It says a lot that the Cameron and Brie Bella were actually brilliant in this match. And Layla was. Cameron, Aksana, Alicia Fox, not so much. But the way that they did tease the Natalya AJ confrontation outside the ring afterwards clearly is pointing towards possibly a one-on-one match coming in the next couple of weeks at the Ground of Battle.
And you know what? I would actually look forward to that because I know the in-ring ability of AJ Lee, and I know the in-ring ability of Natalya.
It's Sharpshooter versus
Black Widow.
Ass tap.
Ass tap.
I'd tap that ass.
Who wouldn't? Score for the match, Ashley?
This gets no score. It wasn't a match. It was torture.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, we go next to Damien Sandow taking on Rob Van Dam. Now, I will say this, though. They really they really seem to be pushing this whole thing a lot with Rob Van Dam and Ricardo Rodriguez, or as how he likes to call him, Rob Van Dam. But
Rob Van Dam, what?
just how long? No, it's one thing I thought I would bring up on the WGS-TV Facebook page, but of course nobody responded. Is one thing I was talking about is what kind of a time frame are we looking at WWE keeping the Money in the Bank briefcase on Damien Sandow and just have him job left and right?
Huh.
It's a good question, wouldn't you think?
Until he shaves.
Let's twist it up. Let's have it. Let him have it right till the end of it, where the whole advantage of you having the choice to choose when you have it is null and void. You know, because if he had 30 days left with a briefcase, think how much trouble he'd be in if it was like a certain person, like let's say Sheamus or whatever, as champion, because he wouldn't stand much chance against him because he probably looks strong every time. And as each day passes, each day he'd be stuck with a briefcase and not do anything. I think it would be interesting to see somebody not even get the chance to cash in that briefcase.
Finish up the match,
And
King. Go ahead.
basically screw up their opportunity at it. That would be good.
Something we need to make light of here, guys and gals. At the finish of the match, Rob Van Dam hits the 5-star frog splash, gets the win on Damien Sandow. But what do we hear?
That was music.
Hallelujah, hallelujah. I'm like, okay, so now Rob Van Dam is the intellectual savior to the masses. That's all.
Dude, you're welcome.
You're welcome, man.
3.75 out of 5. And now, what was set up next was, of course, we're in Cleveland for this week's Monday Night Raw, which was the hometown of Miz. And the Miz got the opportunity to take on Randy Orton. And now, of course, look at it this way, you know, with them going to a double count out and everything's planned. Apparently, we're looking at probably not seeing the Miz for a bit, because it kind of, there's either two things that could happen there. If we look at it like this, Lance, either they're writing off the Miz for a few weeks, or they're trying to start an angle now involving the Miz and Randy Orton.
Which I kind of don't see that, since Randy Orton's already in a feud. I think he might, the Miz might want some time off, or they might have another project for him.
Well, keep in mind, apparently he's getting married to Maurice early next year.
Lucky bastard.
And also, I think what the plan is, Survivor Series. You're going to see Team Corporation take on Team Screwed by Corporation. So Cody's an opportunity there. Miz's possibly show. Who knows what else could happen in the next? Trying to think. That's about November 20th. So we've got about 6 weeks to go till Survivor Series.
Mm-hmm. Your score, Lance, for Miz and Randy Orton?
3.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we approach what I call the Great Khali Kiss Cam moment of the week on Monday Night Raw. It involves
Slam of the week.
Feed him Twinkies.
Paul Heyman coming out, via the wheelchair, being pushed by Curtis Axel and Ryback to address the actions of Ryback.
Can anybody tell me where the hell Axel went? He just disappeared.
I think he went backstage to laugh about what was about to happen on Monday Night Raw.
He says, okay, I'll get Heyman out of here. Then he says, oh, screwed up. I'm getting the hell out of here.
Paul Heyman basically called, I beat CM Punk thanks to this big, beautiful man. Or if you look at it this way, he basically just called Ryback a big BM.
No, he said that Ryback wasn't part of the plan. It was Ryback's initiative because, well, Ryback explained it.
He hates
obviously
bullies.
with the with the whole bully situation. But basically, if it wasn't for Ryback getting involved like he did, Heyman would have been beaten the crap out of and lost. There was no ace up the sleeve. There was no Bork laser. There was no anybody else that was involved. So then randomly we had a scene featuring Gilbert kissing a walrus.
Or as Jerry the King Lawler called him, the Walrus. And like I said, that's why that's the Great Khali Kiss Cam of the Week.
It was like a mafia style kiss, though. It really was
on the cheek.
I'm indebted to you, and if you screw up, there'll be a horse's head in the bed.
No way, the Paul Heyman's eyeing him like, okay.
That horse is Aksana.
Oh God. So speaking of being
I don't want to make a joke about Caitlin's, but
well, as long as you're not a horse's ass. You know what? I am not even gonna rate this segment either.
Why? It was brilliant. It's not brilliant.
One dude kissed another dude in this segment.
Yes, but it was the symbolism of it.
Yeah, Paul Heyman wanted dinner and a show, then he wanted to take it back to bed.
It's the symbolism of it. It clearly means that they clearly see a future in the Paul Heyman CM Punk thing. This, I think, could go as far as WrestleMania.
Possibly.
It's got that much momentum in and what could happen with it. So, and the fact is, you need somebody more on Punk's level, and Ryback's on Punk's level. Remember, it was Ryback that basically had Punk fair and square beat last year, had it not been for the Shield.
Yep. And by the way, a message to all the wrestling fans out there: he's not Goldberg. He's more relevant than Goldberg, but not by much.
Just a little bit.
Up next, we
skipped by a Sheffield.
You know what, Ashley? I'm going to give you the honor of rating this segment.
What?
Paul Heyman and Ryback.
I give it a 4 because clearly it's building more towards what's going to happen. We saw no CM Punk this week. Mild spoilers if you haven't already seen it. But considering next week is Chicago, I think we might see Punk's retort.
Oh,
where
yeah.
he kisses Colt Cabana.
Oh, in the worst promo ever.
No. I'm not going there.
Up next, we had a triple threat elimination tag team match to determine a new number one contender to the tag team titles, and featuring the three of the teams that were in tag team turmoil. That was the Usos, the Tons of Funk, and the Real Americans. Now, Tons of Funk were eliminated, and it left just the Usos and the Real Americans, and it just looked like it got down to a kick fest with one of the Usos, and I believe
no, it didn't. You forgot the most epic bit because you weren't on the WWE app.
What was that?
Cesaro doing his spin.
Oh God!
28 rotations.
Are they gonna make this whole big spin one of his signature moves now?
Well, considering how popular it was on the indie scene, yes.
Holy crap!
That's a test of strength on both guys. It's a showcase of look how powerful I am, and that's kind of what wrestling's about, isn't it?
Well, yeah, and I'm just surprised that after spinning so much, you don't get nauseated. But anyway, the Usos finish off the match with the top rope splash, get the pin, get the win. The Usos are once again the number one contenders to the tag team titles. And
anything else that rhymes with "in"? Get the pin, get the win, get the spin, get the win, pin, limb. From
the way that sounds, Ashley, you disagree with the finish to that match.
No, I do. The Usos should have gone over, because they're the only faces really that are of any good reputation. Considering Darren Young and Titus O'Neil weren't involved at all. But yeah, I just don't like seeing Cesaro stuck in the Real Americans with
Yosemite Sam.
Weed McMuffin and Dutch Mantel.
No, that's not Dutch Mantel anymore. That's Yosemite Sam.
No, it'll always be Dutch Mantel. It'll be
Rabbit.
always Dutch Mantel, and forever now it will be Weed McMuffin.
Weed
The only reason that Cesaro lost to Santino last week is because Weed McMuffin wasn't allowed over the border to Canada.
Oh God. Oh man.
Spoilers, this will be corrected on this Friday SmackDown.
Oh
Thank
my
God.
4 out of 5 on that triple threat tag match. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the featured match of the week, which is Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns. Yes, you heard me right. Robotic Roman Reigns in a one-on-one capacity in a main event match from Monday Night Raw. Somebody shoot me in the fucking head.
This is where I have to stand corrected.
What do you mean?
All that time I was saying Roman Reigns I'm not impressed by him. His match with Bryan has really made me a fan of him now.
Really? You care to explain why?
He's got that. At first I was just thinking he's just being generic, but the fact that he actually got to be in singles competition outside of the tag team stuff, you really could see that he's really kind of, I guess, stepped up his game the last few months, and he had a very good match with Bryan. I'll give it that. Okay, you had the DQ finishing and everything, but considering Orton and the other guys at the Shield were at ringside, you were going to expect that. But Roman Reigns impressed.
Now, now with the Shield, after the Shield run in, it looks like they're about to once again just take apart Daniel Bryan, and then out comes the locker room in form of the primetime players. I believe Justin Gabriel was on there. How about that? Finally, I've been
Zack Ryder.
Yeah, I've been fucking begging WWE for weeks. Give Gabriel more airtime on Monday Night Raw. The dude is extremely talented.
Rob Van Dam. How was RVD there?
R-Truth was out there.
Did they say to him, if you go out there, there's an extra spliff in it for you? Like, what?
And thank God nobody twerked on this week's episode of Monday Night Raw. Unlike The Miz, Mizco Inferno on Friday Night SmackDown.
To be quite honest, I think somebody twerked in the ambulance.
Oh, God. Yeah, and it wasn't Dusty Rhodes or The Big Show either. Now, yeah, and then they finished the show with Daniel Bryan being hoisted upon the shoulders of the primetime players, and thank God Darren Young never got the inkling to put his finger up Daniel Bryan's butt.
What makes me think, though, that next week we're probably going to see some sort of punishment for those people who took side with Bryan on Raw.
And it's quite the possibility. It's quite a possibility as now we look towards our overall scores and our picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw. I gotta rate this one, this Fallout show from Night of Champions. I gotta give it 3.75 out of 5. I thought this was a very strong show. I thought hands down best segment of the night had to be the Dusty Rhodes Stephanie McMahon segment. That was by far it had good writing. You know, whenever Dusty Rhodes, despite what Andy might say or think about Dusty Rhodes and the polka dots and whatnot, that should not define the American Dream's career. But apparently people look to that as, when you make the World Wrestling Federation, yeah, that's when you're hit the big time. That's going to define your career. I disagree with that. 100% disagree with that. Because Dusty Rhodes had a stellar NWA career, and people are just overshadowing all the great work he did with NWA, Jim Crockett Promotions, and WCW with the polka dots. And I don't think that's right. I think somebody. Well, when he gets his turn, I'm sure he'll have a rebuttal for that. But the Dusty Rhodes segment, I gotta say, was really really good. They really seem to be, like I said before, hyping up a McMahon Rhodes feud, and I really 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 want to see where they go from here. And Dustin Rhodes did put up a response on his Twitter. The only thing he would say though was "son of a bitch." That's all he said.
No, he said cowards.
That was Cody Rhodes.
Oh, okay.
And Cody said, they will all fall.
It was like a weird hashtag, wasn't it? The fall of the mall or something like that.
I'm just going by
All of America? Oh no.
No, it just had the fall of the mall. That's all it would say. That's all
Oh,
he put.
the fall of them.
Oh,
Oh,
fall of them all. I need to learn to read. Sorry.
fall of them all. We're bringing back Nitro, bitches.
Worst segment or worst match of the night. I gotta go Fandango and R-Truth. Simply based on the fact that Johnny Curtis Fandango just absolutely 100% sucked in that match. Why they are choosing to put him over rather than someone who actually has in-ring talent like R-Truth. It's just really, really way beyond me. Because I was on the line. I was on the border with whether or not to like Fandango. Now I did say I only tolerate the Fandango gimmick because of Summer Rae. That she's hot to look at. It's still the 100% the truth. But what he put out on Monday Night Raw, that in-ring garbage and that crap finish that he did, really, really sunk him down in my eyes. Really, really brought him down in my eyes. And I gotta say, if they don't start stepping it up with Fandango, I don't know. I'm gonna have to call for an official WGS-TV boycott of Fandango. May not mean much to you guys out there, but it mean a lot to me. So that's all I got to say on that. I want to go to Ashley next and get and Ashley, what's your overall score and your picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw?
Worst is the Divas thing. Not just really for the screw up with the mic, but just because it wasn't that strong a match. Best, anything that involves Stephanie McMahon. Because the one thing that we didn't bring up, which I think was just as awesome, was the segment when we came straight out from the first commercial break with Stephanie and Triple H backstage and Orton coming in saying, "Why the hell didn't you give me the title?" And Stephanie just went, "What makes you think you deserve to have it after your performance last night? You disgraced us. Perhaps we need to find a new face of the company." And then she walks off and it's like,
bitch.
yeah, that this is she's back. She's back on form, people.
Oh, yeah, I gotta agree with that.
So for that reason, and this is probably going to be controversial, I'm giving it a 4.75. It would have got a 5 had it not been for the Divas match.
And now we go over to Lance and get his overall score and his picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw.
Well, I gotta go 3.5. Good show overall, but best match I gotta give it to Ziggler and Ambrose. Worst, I had to go with the sound guy.
Hang on, which one?
Whoever was doing the main.
Should we just round it up to tech guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll work.
Because we had the microphone guy screw up, we had the sound guy screw up with the music, and then what we didn't mention, randomly during a bit when they're talking with Cole, Lawler, and JBL on the table, the lights faded and then went back up. For
Yeah.
a minute, I thought Undertaker was there or the Wyatt family, but no.
There was a weird vignette by the Wyatts, I believe, on Monday Night Raw that I'm still scratching my head trying to figure out what the hell are they doing.
Don't worry. All will not be explained on SmackDown.
I'm sure, surely by Sister Abigail. And,
How she's dead.
yeah. But anyway, what we want to know now from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, your thoughts on Monday Night Raw this week. Be sure you put your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. Lance, what can fans expect to see when they come visit your channel over on youtube.com/LanceMossTV?
NASCAR reviews, album reviews, wrestling reviews, and whatever else pops into my head.
Fans, also don't forget to check out our good friend of ours, the Shining Star, Rick Starr's Hardcore Wrestling Radio. That's always on Spreaker.com/HWR Media and YouTube.com/HWR Show. And don't forget to check out the Facebook page, Facebook.com/Hardcore Wrestling Radio. Also, don't forget to check out WGS-TV's Facebook page, Facebook.com/WGS-TV. And don't forget to please subscribe to YouTube.com/WrestleGamer and YouTube.com/ZFXTV Network. So for the Studley Man Ashley and the incomparable Lance Moss from Lance Moss TV, I'm the Wrestle Gamer, Double B Billy Boudreaux, saying thank you very much for watching.
Next up on Jesse Ventura's Conspiracy Theories. Is Sister Abigail really just Katie Vick in a brunette wig?
Ladies and gentlemen, that episode of Conspiracy Theories has been brought to you by James and the Big Easy's brand new charities, Kisses for Ryback.
Stoke answers. Stoke answers. Stoke answers. Stoke answers. Spirituals meaning Stoke answers. Stoke answers. I'm Haley Ringrose. Stoke answers.
My name's Andrew Weatherall.
Spirituals meaning Stoke answers.